Yeah, we're being recorded now. Isn't that awesome? Isn't technology wonderful?
God love it. Gotta love it. Who the are you?
Who the heck are you? Okay, people who are watching through the camera, welcome again to the Three Old Bards and a Maiden channel. You know my name's Harvey. This is one of the other bards in Three Old Bards and a Maiden. This is Brian.
Well, good afternoon, evening, whatever it is. How you doing? I am a bard as well.
Okay, so, since Brian says he's a bard, we're going to redefine that again. I did in one of the previous videos, the definition of a bard or a minstrel or a troubadour. A lot of times their job was to spread music, but it also, spread news from town to town, or carry messages, or find out who people were and who they are and what their story was, and pass those stories along. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to try and talk to Brian and find out, why the hell are we here? Why are we bards, and what are we doing in his basement right now?
Drinking coffee.
Yeah, we're drinking coffee.
At any rate, I am a bard. To me, a bard is a storyteller through music. Most of my songs are really just stories retold from great writers, Jerry Jeff Walker and Guy Clark. The bard was just a guy or person would go from town to town and sing music. I had been playing guitar since I was 11 years old. Learned at a music studio in Wyandotte, where I grew up. But my guitar playing has mostly been alone and by myself. So at some point I decided that sooner or later I'm going to have to do this in front of people. And at 72, I decided to do it in front of people. Go to an open mic, and first night there, played my song. Gentleman came up and said, you're really good, but you should do a lot of songs where you just talk. Which was not the first time I heard that bit of advice, but hitting the open mic, got to know this gentleman, Harvey, right here. We just started hanging, sharing songs, whatever.
And eventually he invited me over to his garage. He says, come on over, we'll do something in the garage and we'll do some music. So that's how we ended up in his garage and stuff like that.
We are here now because
we are in his basement because
it's cold.
It's cold outside. Yeah.
So
and it's a much more comfortable setup in his basement studio than it is in the garage. The chairs are softer. So let's see. So you started playing guitar when you were 11.
Yep.
But I want to ask some other questions about some of your other background as a bard.
Well,
we've talked before. You were a teacher for many years.
I was for 17 years. I was a fifth grade teacher. The last 17 years of my 38 career as a public school employee. I did work 18 years with autistic people. And yes, I did have one real unfortunate year in the middle school. Someday I'll talk about that. But I was a school teacher. And as a kid growing up, I used to watch the Ed Sullivan Show. And that's where I got introduced to the Beatles, the Animals, the Rolling Stones. Also comedians, stand-up comedians. Joey Bishop, Alan King, who was my hero, Alan King. Guy get up, tuxedo. I mean, so cool. He had a tuxedo. He stood there with a cigar. He told jokes. People laughed. That's what I wanted to do. So at 70, taking care of my bucket list, I have done stand-up at the Comedy Castle around the corner from me, Mark Ridley Comedy Castle. And plan to do a few more stand-up routines. Always wanted to play for people. Maybe someday I'll get enough nerve and go out on the street and just see how much change I can pick up. The noise you are hearing is not the official maiden.
Yeah.
She may think she is.
That's Peaches.
This is Peaches.
Peaches,
We may have to take a cut.
Is a little Boston Terrier who's
Bossy
decided,
Terrier.
a bossy terrier. So we'll stop this video here for a second. Brian will be right back. He's giving Peaches some water. So I think that's really nice. We're going to take care of the dog. I think the dog should be in here because, she's part of the gang. But we'll be back to Brian in a minute. Okay, so Brian's back. We took care of the dog.
Took care of the dog. She's being watered as I speak. Where were we? Besides in my basement. Did stand up. Am doing open mic. Retired now. I think this is my 8th year. I will tell you one thing about retirement. It can get lonely. So my plan was find a bunch of crazy people and play music with them. It's working.
Good. So that was actually one of the things we talked about once before about, why are we here? We're in the garage. And you said, no, it's because, it's because I'm would like to do some music with people. I'd like to have some more people around.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I think that's important for people to know.
Yeah.
It's part of telling everybody your story.
Well, music also is very important in fighting that old age thing that we all face, and dementia and memory loss and things like that. There's been a lot of research on how music keeps your brain alive and functioning. So part of it is survival.
See, yeah, we do music to help us live, and to help us spread a little bit more joy. I think that's a good thing too. So, what are we working on in the garage band? What music do you want to be working on right now?
What music do I want? We've been working on Waking, which is a Victor song. We've set it aside because I think we got a little tired of it, but we might go back to it. I think we all could get together and do a bomb version of 16 Tons. And
yeah, Victor's deeper voice would be good with that.
And the other thing, last Tuesday, we were doing our little round thing, and Olivia sang, was it a chorus of her song?
Yeah, she did like the first verse and chorus of a song that she's written.
And it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So maybe we should work on that too.
Yeah. So the last time, also a couple of weeks ago, you said, okay, so next week we should be maybe working on some Christmas carols.
Well, it's coming. Christmas is coming, and to be honest with you, I pull out the Christmas books a little before Halloween, and we'll finger through a few of them, and now I'm really going through a lot of them. For open mic, there is a particular song that I really want to do. It's called Christmas in the Trenches, written by John McCutcheon. The story behind it is during World War I, one Christmas Eve, somewhere along the front line, some Germans started singing some songs. The Brits started singing some songs. They came out into what was called no man's land, played soccer, got a good drunk on, partied and then went back to war. I always thought it was a story. And McCutcheon would tell that beautiful story. He talked about one time being in Europe and performing that song. And right before he started, this group of men, old men, came in, sat down, listened to the song, and then walked out. And he encountered them later and asked them about it. And, well, they said, we were the Germans in that song. That happened. In fact, it happened up and down no man's land, to the point where both forces had to cycle out the soldiers that spent Christmas Eve on the lines because they couldn't fight.
Yeah.
So it's a true story. It's a beautiful story. And I'm looking forward to doing it.
Okay. So I'm looking forward to hearing you do that. Are we gonna like try and work that out together, or is that one?
I'll do that alone, and
yeah,
because that's kind of. I always regretted I never played for my classroom. It did later, but early on, my first few years, and I had a student. She was just, and I'd say her name, but I'm not going to use a student's name out in public. But she knew that song, and I knew I could play it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
For her, in the classroom. So maybe that's me making up for that.
Well, it's all, get the song out now, and maybe, when we, if we can get it recorded and stuff, maybe, she'll see it on YouTube.
Could happen.
On Three Old Bards on a Maiden Chain.
Stranger things have happened. Like a dog coming up with, you know what? I bet after that big slurp of water. Yep. Yep.
Probably has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So that's good. So we're going to take another break here. Yeah, okay. I think that would be funny. You could go out,
Well,
come
true
back,
story.
change your shirt.
I used to have, one of the things that I loved about teaching 5th grade is I love ties. I am like such a rare man that just, to me, ties are the only way we get to accessorize. And I just had a plethora of ties. I had 2 ties of Christmas ties, of like Christmas lights dribbling down, exactly the same. The only difference was in one, Garfield was looking behind the lights. The other one, it was just lights. So I come in, I got Garfield on, talking to my students, and I'll be right back. They kind of knew sometimes when I stepped in the hall, I gave them a break to break wind and then come back in. So I go out in the hall, switch the ties, come back in, go into teaching a little bit, and then say, oh, by the way, something got loose. Don't worry. It's nothing serious, whatever. And we'd go on, and they're all, then I'd run out in the hall, switch ties, come back. Oh, don't worry, it's been found. This went on till right after lunch. And finally, this one little girl's looking at me, and she's going, where'd Garfield go? And then I fessed up. But,
that's a good story.
hey, you gotta be observant.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm teaching them. Be observant. I can BS an educational goal on anything.
Excellent.
So as we continue on True Confession, what else do you want to know about that?
Well, actually, I was thinking, you know what? I would like to hear
A story song.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that song that you were doing, about the French. I forgot the name.
Coast of Marseille.
Yeah, I thought that would be great. Can you play that?
I can play it.
Yeah.
I've been known to quite a bit.
Well,
now you got to remember, I'm a 5th grade teacher. I answered your question.
You certainly did. You did. You can play it.
Yeah.
How about? Will you play that
I-
for me now?
I will. I'm
You
sorry.
know, I'd love to. You know, I'd like people to see what your music is all about too.
Okay.
Right. You know, are we in tune?
No.
He's gonna try and play this song. But
Before I
it's
play
important.
any song, I have to get in this meditative state, and there's this very great Chinese thing that you can do.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
It's called tuning.
Very important.
Something about my B string.
Well, you know, thank goodness that you're not going to do the joke about the G string.
Oh God. Sounds much nicer.
So the name of the song is?
Do the whole intro. This is called Coast of Marseille. It was written by a gentleman by the name of Keith Sykes and recorded on one of Jimmy Buffett's albums. Beautiful song. Sat there on the coast of Marseille. My thoughts came by like wind through my hand. How could it be to feel you again? How could it be to feel that way again? Now would you be remembering me? I ask that question time and again. The answer comes back, it haunts me so that I would not want to think it again. I would not want to think it again. 'Cause you make it so hard to forget. Loving you yet. So when I left the coast of Marseille, done what I came to do, but I spent all the money I saved, but I still could not get over you. I still could not get over you.
Awesome. That is an excellent song.
Well,
Normally here, when I've heard him play this before, there's thunderous applause.
yeah, both people apply.
Yeah. So this is your chance to applaud. The reason that we don't have applause now is because we're filming in his basement. I have tried to do some other films, some videos at the place where we most often play at the open mic, and there's way too much ambient noise and dishes crashing and stuff like that.
See,
So-
if you ever listen to live folk albums, this is the guy I want to be, okay? Listen to live folk albums. There's always one guy who knocks over his beer bottle.
Yeah.
Listen, every album, there's one clink, clink, clink. That's going to be me somewhere. Like that
Okay.
E6.
I like that sound, man. You really pulled that in there. Thanks, Brian. I have no idea how to conclude this video, but we've gotten some information. At least you got to, you got to be, and nothing's recording, is it? No, it's recording.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, that's
the
recorded.
square box, yeah. Okay.
Now you know how
We'll
technologically wise we are.
Okay, so we'll cut that part.
No!
Anyway, that's what I want to do. I want to try and introduce some of these people who are playing at open mics and telling a little bit of their story.
There are some real interesting people.
Yeah, there are some interesting people. So we'll do more of these. And thank you for playing the song.
Thank you.
I love that song.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay. So, this is the end screen. I guess somewhere in the middle here will be whatever that is they tell me in YouTube I should put there. Thanks
Like
for
and
listening.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe and comment. And the comments are important because, it's part of my learning curve.
Even if they say,
If you say,
do songs where you just talk.
yeah,
Accept that.
that's right. Or if you say, you know what, you should not sing again or get singing lessons. I take those comments to, it's like, okay, that's fine.
One friend of mine did tell me,
Take music lessons.
He did. Singing lessons. And in a way that was like, what a good idea.
And one of the other things that I got,
Shout
when
out
somebody
to you.
actually commented on there was I still have a little bit of a difficulty playing all of the bar chords that I need to. And somebody came through on a comment on one of these videos, just gave me one little trick that improved that. So all comments are welcome. All right. Thanks very much. So this is what I usually do. This is the end screen. And watch this video.
All right.
Okay.
Turn us off.